Some movies do more than entertain, they redefine what cinema means for the world. From groundbreaking visuals to unforgettable characters, these films have reached extraordinary commercial success, pulling in billions of dollars and creating loyal fanbases across the globe. But what truly makes a film rise to the top of the all-time box office chart? It's not just hype or marketing, it's the emotional power of storytelling, timing, and cultural resonance. In this video, we explore the 10 highest-grossing films of all time, ranked by total worldwide box office revenue, unadjusted for inflation. Each entry not only shattered records but also reflected a unique moment in cinematic history. And beyond the box office numbers, we'll break down the heart of each story. Why these films captured the imagination of millions and became timeless global phenomena. From James Cameron's Alien Moon of Pandora to the explosive finale of Marvel's decade-long saga, this list showcases the most iconic and influential blockbusters ever made. So sit back and enjoy as we count down the biggest cinematic giants of all time, and rediscover the unforgettable stories that made them legends. Avatar, 2009. $2.92 billion. Avatar invites us into the world of Pandora, a moon rich in resources and inhabited by the Na'vi, a spiritually connected indigenous people. The story centers on Jake Sully, a disabled Marine who joins the Avatar program and operates a Na'vi-human hybrid to interact with the locals. Initially tasked with gathering intel for a corporation seeking to extract unobtainium, Jake begins to fall in love with Pandora, and with Neytiri, a fierce Na'vi warrior. As he is drawn deeper into their world, his loyalties shift. What makes Avatar so impactful is not just the visual spectacle, but the core of its message. Themes of colonialism, environmentalism, and cultural conflict are embedded in the narrative. Jake's transformation from soldier to protector mirrors real-world struggles between technological power and indigenous survival. His journey also reflects a broader commentary on the price of progress and the soul of humanity. James Cameron's revolutionary use of 3D and motion capture redefined modern filmmaking. The immersive visuals and detailed alien ecosystem captivated audiences globally, making it the highest-grossing movie of all time. The film's universal message, visual grandeur, and emotional arc helped it transcend language and borders. Even more than a blockbuster, Avatar became a global phenomenon. Its legacy continues with a franchise that expands Pandora's universe and deepens its mythology, but it's the original story of transformation and resistance that made history. Avengers. Endgame, 2019. $2.80 billion. After a decade of interconnected stories, Endgame served as the grand finale of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's Infinity Saga. Picking up after Infinity War, the Avengers are devastated by Thanos' snap that erased half of all life in the universe. The team devises a time travel plan to retrieve the Infinity Stones from the past and reverse the catastrophic event. This mission sets the stage for personal confrontations, losses, and heroic sacrifices. Each character faces a moment of reckoning. Tony Stark meets his father, Steve Rogers battles his ideals, and Thor grapples with guilt and identity. These emotional beats give the story weight, making the final battle not just a spectacle, but a deeply personal war for redemption. It's a film about facing the past and making peace with who you've become. The final hour of Endgame delivers a cinematic crescendo. Every major hero returns, alliances are reforged, and the fate of the universe hinges on Iron Man's ultimate sacrifice. Tony's final line, "I am Iron Man," becomes one of the most iconic moments in movie history. The story honors legacy while passing the torch to a new generation. More than just a superhero film, Endgame became a cultural event. Fans across the globe cried, cheered, and stood in lines for hours to witness the end of an era. Its massive success is not only due to its action but to its emotional payoffs, making it one of the greatest conclusions in cinematic history. Avatar. The Way of Water, 2022. $2.32 billion. More than a decade after the events of the first film, Avatar. The Way of Water returns to the world of Pandora. Jake Sully and Neytiri now have a family, living peacefully until the humans come back with renewed threats. Forced into exile, the Sullys seek refuge among the Metkaina, a reef-dwelling clan with a deep bond to the ocean. This move sets the stage for a story of adaptation, survival, and protecting those we love. Unlike the first film, this sequel dives deep, literally, into Pandora's aquatic environments. Cameron's use of cutting-edge underwater motion capture immerses viewers in a breathtaking new biome. The story evolves from a tale of colonial resistance to one of parenthood, loss, and resilience. It's not just a continuation, it's a spiritual deepening of the original film's themes. Jake is no longer a warrior discovering a new world, he's a father trying to keep his children alive in a dangerous one. Each of the Sully kids has their own arc, especially Loic, whose rebellious nature mirrors Jake's own past. The family dynamics enrich the narrative, turning the spectacle into something more grounded and emotional. The film's massive global appeal once again proves Cameron's ability to blend visual wonder with universal themes. By exploring love, identity, and survival, The Way of Water cements its place not just as a worthy sequel, but as one of the most successful and heartfelt blockbusters ever created. Titanic, 1997. $2.26 billion. James Cameron's Titanic blends a tragic historical event with a fictional love story that transcended generations. Set aboard the RMS Titanic, the film follows Jack, a free-spirited artist, and Rose, a wealthy young woman trapped in a suffocating life. Their love blooms against the backdrop of social class tension, just as the ship heads toward its doomed fate. The heart of the story lies in Rose's transformation. Jack helps her discover her voice and break free from the rigid constraints of her upbringing. Their romance is brief but powerful, intensified by the looming tragedy that threatens to tear them apart. It's a story of freedom, rebellion, and the right to choose love over obligation. When the iceberg strikes, the film pivots from intimate love story to disaster epic. Cameron's reconstruction of the Titanic's sinking is both meticulous and heart-wrenching. Jack's sacrifice, Rose's survival, and the haunting imagery of the ship breaking apart remain etched in cinema history. Beyond its technical brilliance, Titanic became a cultural phenomenon. With sweeping music, unforgettable performances, and a timeless romance, the film connected emotionally with audiences worldwide. It won 11 Oscars and became the highest-grossing film of its era, a title it held for over a decade. Star Wars. The Force Awakens, 2015, $2.07 billion. When Disney revived the Star Wars saga with The Force Awakens, fans around the world held their breath. Directed by J.J. Abrams, the film successfully reintroduced the galaxy far, far away to a new generation. It followed Rey, a scavenger from Jakku, as she discovers her Force sensitivity and becomes entangled in the conflict between the Resistance and the First Order. The film mirrors the original trilogy's structure, echoing A New Hope in tone and plot while introducing compelling new characters like Finn, Poe, and the enigmatic Kylo Ren. Rey's journey from nobody to potential Jedi captivated audiences, while Kylo's internal conflict added a fresh, emotional layer to the villain archetype. The return of original trilogy icons, Han Solo, Leia Organa, and eventually Luke Skywalker, added nostalgia and gravitas. Han's death at the hands of his son, Kylo Ren, shocked audiences and raised the stakes for the trilogy ahead. It was a powerful reminder that the saga was taking bold new steps while respecting its roots. The Force Awakens reignited global interest in Star Wars, breaking records and becoming the highest-grossing domestic film in U.S. history. Its mix of legacy and reinvention, action and emotion, proved the franchise's enduring power in modern cinema. Avengers. Infinity War, 2018, $2.05 billion. Infinity War set the stage for Marvel's biggest gamble yet, bringing together all major heroes across different franchises in a single, unified story. Thanos, the film's central figure, seeks the 6 Infinity Stones to execute his vision of universal balance by wiping out half of all life. The Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and others form uneasy alliances to stop him. What made the film different from traditional superhero tales was its focus on the villain. Thanos is not a mindless destroyer but a deeply committed idealist with twisted logic. This depth adds tension and weight to every scene. Each encounter with him feels more desperate than the last, as heroes fall one by one. From Wakanda to Titan, the film spans galaxies, delivering breathtaking set pieces and powerful emotional moments. Vision and Scarlet Witch, Iron Man and Spider-Man, Thor's renewed quest for vengeance. each subplot interlocks with heartbreaking consequences. The final snap, turning beloved characters to dust, left audiences stunned. Instead of ending in triumph, Infinity War dared to conclude with defeat. It flipped expectations, showcasing the stakes of the MCU like never before. Its bold structure, emotional depth, and global reach ensured its place among the greatest and most lucrative films of all time. Ne Zha 2, 2025, $1.89 billion. Continuing the story of the rebellious child god Ne Zha, this Chinese animated sequel capitalized on the massive success of its predecessor. In Ne Zha 2, the young hero wrestles with his destiny while confronting deeper spiritual and familial conflicts. The film builds on ancient mythology while modernizing it for today's audiences. Ne Zha's struggle to find balance between destruction and redemption forms the emotional backbone of the story. He seeks not just to prove his worth, but to define his own fate, rather than being feared or controlled by those around him. His journey is as much internal as external, deepening the audience's empathy. The animation is both bold and expressive, blending traditional Chinese art styles with fast-paced action sequences. These stylistic choices enrich the storytelling and distinguish it from Western animated hits. The film's themes of identity, fate, and acceptance are universally resonant. Ne Zha 2 broke box office records in China and gained international acclaim. It proves that high-quality animation and compelling storytelling transcend cultural boundaries, and that mythological epics can be just as commercially powerful as any superhero film. Spider-Man: No Way Home, 2021, $1.92 billion. When No Way Home was announced, fans suspected it would be big, but no one anticipated just how monumental it would become. After Peter Parker's identity is revealed to the world, he seeks help from Doctor Strange to erase the memory from everyone's minds. The spell goes wrong, opening up the multiverse and pulling in villains and heroes from alternate dimensions. This twist allowed the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as their respective versions of Spider-Man, making it a cinematic event of historic proportions. The emotional chemistry between the three Peters was heartfelt, authentic, and moving. Each brought their own pain, growth, and wisdom, creating a story of brotherhood beyond timelines. The film doesn't just rely on nostalgia, it delivers a powerful story about grief, responsibility, and sacrifice. When Aunt May dies, Peter faces the harsh truth that being a hero means enduring loss. By the end, he chooses anonymity to protect others, echoing the selflessness central to Spider-Man's ethos. With its mix of action, humor, heartbreak, and multiverse mayhem, No Way Home united generations of fans. It reminded the world why Spider-Man remains one of the most beloved characters in cinema, and its global box office success proves just how deeply his story resonates. Inside Out 2, 2024, $1.70 billion. In Inside Out 2, Riley enters her teenage years, and with adolescence comes a whole new set of emotions. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust are joined by characters like anxiety and envy, complicating the control room inside her mind. The film explores the emotional chaos of growing up with Pixar's signature charm and insight. Riley faces peer pressure, shifting friendships, and self-doubt, all while her core memories begin to evolve. Joy's struggle to remain in charge reflects how our inner landscape becomes more nuanced over time. The narrative gently teaches that it's okay not to feel happy all the time, and that uncomfortable feelings are part of maturing. The sequel builds beautifully on the foundation of the original film. It maintains the metaphorical depth while introducing more complexity. The brain becomes a richer setting, with new realms representing insecurity, imagination, and ambition. With relatable storytelling, vibrant animation, and emotional intelligence, Inside Out 2 struck a chord across age groups. Its phenomenal box office performance solidifies Pixar's legacy of creating family films that are both entertaining and profoundly human. Jurassic World, 2015, $1.67 billion. Set 22 years after the events of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World imagines a fully operational dinosaur theme park where tourists can witness prehistoric creatures up close. The park's success pushes scientists to engineer a new hybrid dinosaur, the Indominus Rex, with disastrous consequences. When the creature escapes, chaos spreads across the island. Owen Grady, a raptor trainer, and Claire Deering, the park's operations manager, must work together to protect lives and contain the outbreak. The film balances spectacle with themes of scientific ethics and corporate greed. It's not just about the monsters, it's about the hubris of trying to control nature. The nostalgia factor was key to its success. Audiences were thrilled to return to Isla Nublar, and the film paid homage to the original while modernizing the franchise. The Raptor Squad, the Mosasaurus reveal, and the T-Rex's triumphant return were all memorable highlights. Jurassic World reignited interest in the franchise, grossing over $1.6 billion and spawning sequels. It proved that dinosaurs still had a place in the box office jungle, and that our fascination with bringing the past back to life remains stronger than ever. From alien moons and sinking ships to emotional teens and multiversal battles, the highest-grossing films in history represent a diverse spectrum of storytelling. What unites them isn't just their financial success, but their ability to tap into universal emotions: love, loss, courage, and wonder. These stories became cultural landmarks not only because of how they looked, but because of how they made people feel. In a world of constant change, cinema remains a powerful tool for connection. These 10 films didn't just break records, they built legacies. They invited us into worlds unknown, made us cry, cheer, and reflect on our own journeys. They remind us of the power of storytelling at its most epic and intimate. As new technologies emerge and fresh voices rise in filmmaking, these box office giants will continue to inspire future generations of creators and dreamers. Because at the heart of every billion-dollar film is a story, and stories are what stay with us long after the credits roll.